But because we have acted responsibly over the past several years to reduce spending and bring in additional revenue, the burden we face today is much less than if we had not taken these responsible steps. Think about this for a few minutes. If we had not reached out to the state several years ago for a share of new revenues from various sources, and if we had not begun to aggressively collect delinquent taxes and fees, I would be standing before you today with a much gloomier picture in terms of city finances. Our reserves would have been completely depleted, services drastically reduced, and more valued city employees would have lost their jobs. Let there be no mistake, Wilmington is still on the path to a very bright future. Each of the departments of city government has worked very hard over the past 10 years to support the growth of our neighborhoods, downtown, and the riverfront district, and to encourage the new and existing businesses to make Wilmington part of their future for years to come. We should be proud of what both branches of government have accomplished together. We have earned more than 16 national awards for a variety of initiatives. We're in the final 2 years of this administration, and it is easy to lose sight of what we have achieved in the past 10 years, especially when our immediate focus is on current economic conditions and other problems. Tonight I am issuing a report on our accomplishments over the past decade. Please take time to read it and know that you have my sincere thanks and appreciation for making Wilmington a stronger and more exciting city that is well positioned to move forward and accomplish even more in the years ahead. That's the end of the gobbledygook on the text. So don't pay any attention after that. You can look if you want, but it's not going to be there. What I want to do is just tell you where we are financially and what's going to happen. And from that point on, I'm getting out of here. First of all, next year's budget, 2012 budget, will be $140,500,000+. There's a proposal for a 5% property tax increase, which will be $3.21 per month on average, and about $32 for each homeowner. Next is that we hope that council will pass the Safer Firefighting Grant. If you don't, it's an additional $500,000 lost to us, which means that we're going to have to find the money or just forget it. So it's critical to the city to get that. I'm proud of the various departments like Public Works, Fire, and Police that have reduced their overtime by 42%. We've looked at our capital budget, which we are coupling with issues that were put in the 2008 and 2010 capital budget, and the new budget is smaller, should save us about $1.3 million. You already know that the state cut the municipal aid, street aid fund, so we're down in that, but our electric bill is averaging about $900,000 to $1 million a year. The water sewer fund needs about $62,500,000 to do their business, and I'm proposing a 16% increase, which is about $6.43 per month for our customers. And most of you know we've talked about this. We have to continually, for the next few years, raise the water sewer fees to make it solvent, because the general fund has been paying for it for too long. The other thing is the red light program, which is going to be expanding it to school zones, hospital zones, things like that. Representative Brady and Representative Dennis P. Williams is introducing that for us and asked council to support that. There's also several ordinances that we are proposing, ordinance that Henry Sapinski also has worked on and Bud Friel has worked on, which is to change our retiree medical program to new hirees must be 65 and apply for Medicare before they can receive our health care. This doesn't save us money in the immediate sense, but it will in the long run. We also have an ordinance to place all new non-uniform hirees as of July 1 into the state Delaware county and municipal pension plan, which will also save us money from having to keep our own pension plan. It will wipe it out. The police and the fire are already in the state plan. We're also asking 320 union to sit down and to negotiate a better weather condition rather than this 45-degree and raining and all, and the garbage and the recycling is not collected. So we hope to get a fair figure in there that makes sense. We're also proposing removing 3 holidays: Good Friday, Columbus Day, and President's Day. We're eliminating the 4th of July celebration, which runs about $90,000 to $125,000 a year to operate. Also would like to thank Attorney General Beau Biden and Governor Markell for working with us on the social service side and also the law enforcement side. And it's been a very good partnership thus far between the two of them. The FOP Lodge, Lodge 1, I'd like to thank them for contributing more money to the health care costs, and we would like to ask all the rest of the unions to agree to that, because the health care costs are just getting out of whack. It's usually 17% average per year growth. Wage tax is down about $5 million this year. So that's all of the gobbledygook on the budget. I know you guys all agree with everything, and I don't have to say any more, so I can go home. I think that we have to face certain realities. Let me tell you something. If we don't get our act together, eventually, the idea that I'm trying to work on is to save you a lot of grief in the future. The next mayor coming in, if we don't fix these things, is going to have a hell of a problem on their hands. Now, that won't bother me, but it certainly bother you, and it certainly will bother the next mayor. And if we don't do these things, there's a question mark as to how long the city can keep playing games over its own survival. We can't grow geographically, and unless we get more businesses in and more high-rises or whatever, people living here, our basic fundamental financial base is stagnant. And so we have to look at that. One of the proposals was to get rid of some council's positions, which would be eliminated it down to 7 or something like that. That's up to you. I don't care if you eliminate each other. That doesn't matter to me. But that may happen. It's just reality of how far can you keep cutting your budget and expecting it to handle your problems. Cutting budgets, any fool can do that. But the consequences of that are different and can be serious and very, very devastating in the long run. And anybody who's ever been unemployed, because you don't have to unemploy the people, I have to tell the people that they're unemployed. Anybody that's ever been unemployed or lost their job and tried to make a living should know that's a very devastating effect and a very devastating thing to go through. It's not a simple matter of we don't need you just because we want to save a little bit of money. We got to look at the consequences of the people, and we got to look at the consequences of the services. So I'm just telling you I'm tired of fighting. This tension between council and adversarial issues between council and administration has to stop. And I'm willing to stop, but I'll fight you tooth and nail if you want. Doesn't matter to me. Either you make peace or you don't. You want to have war for 600 more days? Fine, we will have it. And you will have it beyond the 600 days when I get finished with you. You can shake your head. I'm just telling you, every time our department heads have come before, we've had arguments after arguments after arguments over things that sometimes don't even make sense. There's a partnership here that has to be maintained. The roles of government. The legislative branch and the administrative branch should be working together. 16 years as president of council, not one budget failed. Not one tax credit increase was refused. So we can play politics all we want. The citizens lose in the long run. So this is not in the speech because they don't want to hear me say that. I mean, the staff, they panic because they don't want me to say things that I honestly feel. I can't do that. This is a great city, and we can make it greater, and we can do it together, or we can keep fighting each other and do it piecemeal. But great things have happened over the last 10 years, things that nobody else has done in any other city. And we should be proud of that, and we should work together to make it better. We can talk about crime and how to end crime and all that other stuff, but if we don't look at education, if we don't look at training and employment and housing and all the other factors that come into being that impact upon crime, we're just wasting a lot of time and a lot of hot air firing it at each other. So, I hope I made my points. Out here to smile and be gratiating and all that other nonsense. I want this city to be the best city in the world. We should be a world-class city. We don't need a whole bunch of hokey-okum. And I don't think there's a person in this place that has served as a member of council, as a district council member, as a president of council, and as a mayor. I don't think anybody in here has done that. And they're different roles and different responsibilities. District council members, you know, there's a lot of meetings, a lot of calls. And large people have to worry about the bigger picture. And on this side, we have to worry about everything. So, you can say I fought with past mayors. When I fought with past mayors, it was because there was issues that council members wanted us to fight about. And I fought for that. But I could sit down with any mayor and I could tell him council would pass it or council wouldn't pass it. I didn't have to fight 7 council members to get a vote. So, criticize me, do whatever. Staff, you guys can quit having your heartbeats and, oh, geez, he said these things. And wish he hadn't have done that. Wish he had. The hell with that stuff. Tired of it. These people who work for this city do a great job. They deserve to be treated as professionals and be treated right. I can't give them what they want or what they deserve, but they certainly deserve respect because the citizens of this city have gained by the fact of their working and doing their jobs well. They don't deserve beating ups every time they want to do something or say something or question their integrity or question their intent or question their professionalism. You wouldn't like it, and I don't. President, I'm finished.
You're right, brother.